Hello fellas, well the bucklings are here, all 17 of them. That's right, Domino and Tong Tay, Ziggy and the rest of the guys are all here at the newly renovated falling down goat house, the original goat house that we had constructed about 3.5 years ago. Well, we had it constructed, but Toon and I did the flooring in there, and then we had it revamped when we had the big floods, and now obviously with our herd reaching a humongous size, we had to get these 17 lads here. We've got another 4 to come over here. That'll be, we anticipate, another 3 or 4 weeks when they're bigger. But yeah, it's all looking good. So I'm going to go inside. I'll just pause the phone and I'll show you how it changes. Wow, here we are. It was so important that we got the boys moved as quickly as possible, because although they're still fairly young, they were becoming sexually active, and they were bugging the nannies and the young does on the island. And if they'd have slipped the odd one in, it wouldn't be a problem really. But what we don't want is inbreeding. So as far as goats go, line breeding's okay, but inbreeding is where they mate with 100% sister. So there was a few that are twins, a few that same mum, same dad, and that they'd had a sister previously to them being born. So we had to get them out there and moved over here. So we can keep them up to 30-35 kgs now, so the pressure's off a little bit. Right then, so it's still, how can I prepare you for this? Still a shithole. Right, I've begged, stealed and borrowed basically from this side of the house. So a lot of stuff off the side and the feeder trough. We had previously, we had a gate here. I would have shown you it all before previously, guys, but all the footage taken on the GoPro was corrupt. So it's on the phone, guys. But yes, we had the gate here, and then we had this short step here all the way, and then we had a gate going in left and right. So that all came out. There was quite a bit of termite damage, but I managed to save enough to rebuild a short step here, repositioned the gate. Thankfully, had enough after cutting all the dodgy bits of wood out to rebuild the floor. I have to be careful with this supporting beam here. Well, it's not a supporting beam, but it holds this post steady to hinge the gates. But I'm really happy with the flooring. Very, very important with the goat house flooring. It has to be wide enough to let the poop through. Just a little bit caught up there, but the rest you can see has fallen through. But not so big, the gaps that you get a leg break or a hoof stuck, and what happens, their leg will go down, and the knee or the ankle bone joint rather will get caught between, and then they'll try and wriggle around, the others will hit it, and then you get a leg break quite easily. So I need to do a couple of running repairs. They're strong little so-and-sos and quite naughty, so they like to jump out a little bit early morning as soon as they hear me rattle the gate. They think Uncle Lee's here with the food, which I obviously am a lot of the time, and a few of them jump out. So I've got a few little things to do here and there, but otherwise we're good to go. And yeah, they seem happy. First, I would say 3 or 4 days, they didn't know what the hell was going on. It's fun and games getting them up into here at night. So we had a bit of flipping chase the buckling for about half an hour every night, but now they know what they're doing. Right, so the rest of what we're doing, we're gradually taking this down, and as the rainy season approaches, although we have a lot of netting up, that's seen better days, we will get the mozzies around. So the first couple of nights, just to make it more comfortable for them, Toon reverted back to her little smoky fire in here. It's basically just making biochar out of the goat poo and some of the termite wood, so it's a good way of using it up. Yeah, and just sweep up every few days or so. I did guesstimate that it was going to take about an hour a day additional work running 2 goat houses. I think I overestimated, guys, about half an hour or so, and that's with keeping it nice and tidy. Apart from this is not tidy, obviously. So run you through. We've still got the tyre towers. Sometimes put a little bit of food in there. They're not that bothered about playing, really. Teenage boys, isn't it, I suppose. So we've got the feeder here. We give them the shredded up Napier in the mornings. You can see that they've made short work of it. Bucklings are absolute eating machines. I mean, all goats are, of course. Any of you that have seen our goats previously or have had goats yourself, but bucklings, oh my word. Now we've got them separated, we can see the difference. It's quite phenomenal. So every couple of days I'm sweeping this up, and I'll show you where I'm putting that later. Currently got the hose out here at the moment. I don't do that for the water, drinking water. I've been doing some biochar. Feast your eyes upon here. Another big shout out to Gerard, who kicked me into action. Once we got the bucklings here, it was obvious that we were going to have to kickstart our Leukina biochar again. So there was a massive clear up, and Jared kindly started a compost pile here. So all the greens, the grasses, the leaves, very, very small sticks. And as he was cleaning underneath the tin table over here, there was quite a lot of stuff that actually looked like finished compost. So he put that into the pile, and hopefully he's back at the end of October, and we'll be seeing how it's got on. Hopefully we're going to be able to top up all our vegetable beds. So the stuff that he was raking out of here, the coarser stuff, I added to here, and also there was an old, it was a point of an old biochar burn, and I did a big burn this morning as well, and I've just hoofed it on top of there. So the idea was to get the height of all this, well, we call it a deep litter system, and get that down because it was about up to here. So we've managed to raise the garden beds up an absolute treat a few months ago, and then Jared continued what I'd started, got it right down, and then I've been bucketing raw biochar. You can see it in here underneath, ready for the rainy season. If I don't put biochar and leave the sticks down here, this will become an absolute swamp, and yeah, I'm just concerned that they'll get hoof infections, something like that. So yeah, this seems to work, keeps the smell down, of course, as well in the rainy season. Biochar is a good deodorizer, and yeah, it's going well. So the boys are busy picking the last little bits of the Leukina leaves. Toon's still off her feet. Thanks for all your kind messages, guys, and well wishes. Luckily, it's amazing how it turns out, isn't it? We're blessed at the moment, obviously, with Gerard coming for 9 days or so, and now Toon's nephew's back on a bit of a break. He's been working away up until now for quite a while, so he's taken over doing the 2 Leukina runs for Toon, give her a little bit of a break, let her recuperate. And yeah, so once the bucklings have had the fill from this, well, they can't really get much else. Now I'll start a new pile. Here's my pile, look here. That's how I did the burn this morning. So it's a little bit green. Don't want to do a biochar burn while it's still sort of like a high moisture content. So I'll just start stockpiling it here. The boys will still peck at it for about 2 or 3 days, and then once we get enough to do a burn, I'll do it in this position, and because it will be clean raw biochar, I'll then keep on adding it in here. So the idea is once, maybe twice a week, just topping up the biochar in there. And what they do, although they're not particularly big, these guys yet, the constant walking on there breaks the biochar down to an incredibly fine powder, and you'll see all these leaves that they don't eat, or that they hit onto the floor, gets knocked onto the floor, poo and pee on it, and kick it all in. They sort of like till it continuously, it creates the most amazing compost. If you've seen that little hugelkultur bed that I did for the Morning Glory and a few choice yeah, it was this stuff that I riddled and put in there. It's just fantastic. What a brilliant resource provided by the goats. Not using this table yet. You can see there's a lot of leaves come down here, and we've still got loads of finished compost in there. All I need to do, well, I say all I need, it's a bloody big job, is to rake it up and riddle it. So again, we'll be keeping the big stuff to one side and adding it to the, I don't know what we call it, maybe just a glorified biochar carbon heap. So leaves, sticks and biochar, that's, and a bit of poop that's swept up. Got loads of big stuff here. We've not long ago, well, we have, oh, that's a lie, Lee, stop lying. We've got a charcoal bin there, and we're going to start making our own charcoal. So we've kept the big chunky stuff. We're going to whiz it through the tabletop saw, running off the generator, and hopefully get into the swing of things of making our own charcoal. I don't know, maybe even sell a little bit. And down the back here, I've still got enough for probably one more biochar burn, just this bit on its own. It's great stuff. If I don't do biochar, after a while the termites and the ants will break it up, and it's not really fit for anything. All I do is sweep it up and add it to a compost pile. But yeah, rather than let the termites have it, at the very least put it in the pile over here. As soon as you mix it in with biochar, they don't seem to bother with it. Of course, there's no point in them trying to eat biochar because there's nothing left in there for them to eat. It's just like a raw carbon. There's no wood resin left in it. That's the main difference between your biochar and your charcoal. Charcoal's still got the wood resin, and that's why it burns. Biochar, if you tried to burn it, it would just turn to ash. It's like one step pre wood ash. That's all. So yes, so 17 happy boys. Soon to be 21, and where is he? Where's the big lad? Thor is over here. They're as filthy as anything. They love rolling around in the biochar. I don't know whether it's good for their skin or something like that. But yeah, this is Thor. He's still friendly. He's one of the youngest, but he is actually the biggest now. He's very much on a par with the elder statement of the mini herd here, the Dom, and yeah, he's looking good for the future, guys. He really is. Friendly boy, ain't you, mate? Yeah, we fell out for a few days, didn't we, when you're looking for your mum. But he's all right now. He's got over it. Yeah, no one's struggling. All been wormed. Happy days. Just to clarify, I did have quite a witty comment on the previous video where Toon and I were out walking at the last light with the big herd around the farm, letting them free range, and someone asked, are you just keeping all your goats as pets, or are they a business? They are very much a business, guys. I know we love them to bits, but they're all available to sell. It's just at the current market, it's pretty much no go. Lots of people have been saying about, sell them to the Muslims and all that lot, high-end restaurants. But just bear this in mind. A live goat now is 700 baht. So yeah, imagine how much you're going to get for that's for a nanny. So God knows how much you'd get for a buckling. So no, we keep the faith, and we reckon that things are going to start opening up soon. It's sort of like a word on the ground through the Facebook group that Toon's a member of. All right, Thor, how you doing, mate? And that's nice. Don't eat the shorts though. Okay. Yeah, word on the ground is things are going to resume back to normal. As far as Muslim people eating goat, yes, I appreciate that. That's very true. But all Muslim families in Thailand have always got several sources of goats available if they're not already growing their own. They've got relatives, friends, or preferred suppliers already. So the meat market we've seen now is absolutely saturated with goats, and yeah, I'm not saying it's a pointless exercise. Of course, it's not if you can shift a few. But these aren't anywhere near 35 kg. I think the biggest one's about 18 kg at the moment. So we've got plenty of leeway. If they start hitting 35 kg, I put them on a bloody diet. All right, guys. Happy Sunday to everyone, and keep your peckers up. All right.